What's going on, everybody? It is Friday, August 24th, and we have a 14-game slate to break down today. I'm a little excited. I didn't play last night at all. I was doing my family stuff, so I don't like taking a day off. I can feel it in my blood. I want to play a pretty healthy amount today. Jake, how'd your Thursday night end up?
Not good. Just on a personal and a DFS note. So I got crushed in DFS. That's fine. Whatever. But I was supposed to get my mattress last night for my room, and it didn't come. So another night on the floor for Jake was not optimal. So not super well rested, but yeah, we just got to power through it, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds less than ideal. Oh, man. I felt like I was going to sleep on the floor last night. My body is sore from climbing a ladder, I believe.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, we had to clean my gutters, and I don't do well with, like, uncontrolled heights. So I think from, like, my legs shaking from being terrified of being near my roof, all, like, the stabilization in my legs is just shot right now. So I feel like I worked out, but in all actuality, I basically walked a set of stairs like 15 times. So very sad. Very sad.
Shark's got a question for MMEing to enter in contest for the first time. Do you manually enter 150 times?
I just put one garbage lineup in, so I'll do that right now. I'm sharing my screen and doing it.
Yeah.
I just grab, a random pitcher. It's a lot easier on DK because you don't have to switch through positions. On FanDuel, you have to do a couple extra clicks. But I just throw a dummy lineup in, and then I deal with it all from there. Sometimes I'll upload a CSV depending on the day. But
yeah, so I do the same thing. But I play at DK, so I do the bulk enter. Is that what you're referring to, Shark? How to bulk enter just to get 150 lineups in so you can CSV edit?
Yeah, you do one, and then it gives you the opportunity to bulk enter everything else.
Yeah, so it'll have like your lineup across the top of the screen, and then you can click bulk enter and choose which contests you want to have more entries in. And just type in. So if you type in 1 into the mini-max or whatever, you can type in 149 and after you enter that 1 in. So, yeah.
We ready to dive into this? Apparently I'm in my FanDuel contest now, so we're good to go.
Yeah. All right, Shark. There we go.
Alrighty. Here we go. Highly recommended, Shark. Highly recommended.
Me too.
Look, if you're playing and you're not trying to max the quarter, that should be your first thought. Especially if you're in the anybody can make money if they max enter pool. It's right there for you.
I mean, anybody can do it.
37.50. Worst case scenario, you're going to lose $25 of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could just max the quarter on DK too if you want. That's 20.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What is it? $5?
Yeah. All right.
Geo Chalk Train, yeah, unfortunately.
Is ownership out?
No, I don't think so.
Let me know when it is. I don't have it up right now. Yankees and Orioles, first game on the slate. Yankees 4.9 run implied total. Orioles 3.8. It's a 61% chance to win for the Yanks. CC Sabathia going for New York. Alex Cobb going for Baltimore. I've actually got a little bit of Sabathia. Holy shit, he's 9,000. What a crazy CC Sabathia price.
Yeah, that's what's keeping me off of him. It's just the price. Like, how much upside does he actually have against 8 righties at 9K? So,
I think he has a little bit of it just because of these particular righties. But I agree with what you're saying. This is a tough matchup
fair
for Sabathia.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Davis, that could be 4 strikeouts right there for him. But he's just much better against lefties. Like, I never target lefties against CC. Righties is a little different story, but yeah, it's kind of an avoid for me. And then it's just kind of a mental thing with the Yankees pitchers that are not Tanaka or Severino. Like, they can just get pulled in the 5th inning if they get into any sort of trouble because they're trying to get into the playoffs, and they've just got that stacked bullpen where they don't need their starter to even go 5 innings necessarily.
Yeah, I'm hoping that as this day goes on, I end up with less Sabathia because it's just not something I want to cheer for. I hate when I get things that I don't actively like on the surface. And 9K Sabathia is that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I did change locations. So there's no light fixture up top, so I don't have a light. I usually just use natural light anyways, but it's kind of dark here. So
just cans and cans of natural light.
Yeah, exactly.
Natty. That was like spinach to Popeye for me while I was in college.
I would assume you were in a fraternity.
I was not in a fraternity.
Oh, okay. Neither was I.
I was just an alcoholic, I guess. I guess I was in the fraternity of alcoholics.
All right. Everyone's got their vice in college, right? I started playing DFS.
I had plenty of vices in college. That wasn't the only one.
I moved to Australia. That's a good rumor to start. Yeah. I don't think I can afford Australia.
Is Australia expensive?
Isn't it?
I have no idea. I mean, I'm sure I have no idea.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just making stuff up.
I don't know. If I ever tried to go to Australia, I would just be praying that I was on the flight that crashed on the Lost Island.
Jeez. Dark.
Oh, very awesome. That island is great. I would have lived forever. You didn't watch Lost, did you?
I watched the first couple seasons like 5 years ago.
Okay.
Then got distracted and watched something else. Probably Breaking Bad.
All right. Well, if you want to go back and watch Lost, I'll go back and watch Dexter.
Okay.
What do you think of Yankee stacks today? Or I guess, what do you think of the 8 guys that aren't named Stanton?
Yeah, Stanton, Hicks really stand out to me as solid plays, but Cobb, like, he just keeps surviving. He looks pretty good to me, just like way, way better than like what we saw earlier in the season. Not missing a ton of bats or anything, but just kind of getting by with chases. He just threw a complete game against Cleveland in Cleveland, survived against Boston, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned run. So I don't really know what's going on with Cobb. It doesn't look like anything has changed too much, but I actually have a little bit of interest in him for 5,200 here, just because of the price and the nature of the slate.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really on much of anything here. A lot of one-off Stanton on DK. Oddly, a little bit of Neil Walker, which I wouldn't have expected, but dual eligibility and that price point will get you there. This game's just really not for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ownership is out, by the way.
Yeah, I thought you would be on the Yankees here.
Just Stanton for the most part. I'm a little surprised that I don't have more either, but this is similar to the Red Sox. It's just having 3 outfielders at the top is a really difficult thing to overcome when you need to make out the rest of your lineup because you're hemorrhaging so many potential plate appearances.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you say you have Cobb or no?
No Cobb for me.
Okay. Yeah, I cannot believe I'm saying I have interest in Cobb against the Yankees, but
yeah,
5,200.
You should not say that.
5,200. He's stretched out, coming off a couple of really nice performances. He's got at least 6 innings and 5 straight starts. 7, 7, and 9 his last 3. I usually don't just look at results, but I mean, there's got to be something to that. I don't think he's going to light the world on fire, but he could get you 12, 15 points, which is enough for 5K.
Yeah, 9% ownership on Cobb right now. I have a different low-priced shitty pitcher today. Surprise, surprise. But who? Come on now.
Vargas?
Of course.
Oh God, that's the worst play.
Yeah.
We'll
look, I probably won't end up with him by the time we get there, but right now I have him.
Okay. All right, this will be interesting.
I won't justify it. I mean, he's garbage. I want to hit the 2 questions that are relatively long in the chat quickly. What, if any, data tool do we have access to that shows pitcher-catcher relationship data? Certain catchers better for certain pitchers. So I know you look at that pretty regularly. Is there a spot that sort of consolidates that, or do you?
You can look at like surface stats on Baseball Reference. So you go on Baseball Reference, you just search for a guy's split, a pitcher's splits, and then you go by catcher. And usually you can just see like ERA and K percentage, but it kind of tells a little bit of a story if there's a big enough sample. If they've caught 15, like if they have 30 starts in a season and 15 of them are with one catcher and 15 are with the other, you can kind of tell if there's huge splits. And there's like pitch framing data and all that, but I don't look at that much. I just kind of know who the elite pitch framers are, like Tyler Flowers. So, yeah.
It's in. Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, I'm in Jason Vargas's 2018 splits. So Jason Vargas splits 2018, and you can hop to by catcher. That'll give you a breakdown of inning. Yeah, I mean, this is giving you everything that you would really want to use. So that should help you a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Eric Wilson's
exactly
question: when building stacks, do you guys fill around the pitchers first, or build around the hitters and then fit pitchers in? So I just throw it all in Fantasy Cruncher. I'm not going to have the best response here for building individual lineups. If I was building an individual lineup, I would build around the hitters first and then fill in with the pitching, or at least build my stack first and then my the pitching combo that I need, and then fill in my one-offs accordingly.
Yeah, when I make lineups by hand, it's usually pitcher first, and then it's usually like at least one cheap pitcher in there. So that's just kind of my style, is trying to get cheap pitchers and get a ton of value and pay up for hitters. So when I put in my projections for Fantasy Cruncher, I multiply the hitters by a factor so that the optimizer will prioritize pretty much every hitter and then put the pitchers in last.
There you go. Just wanted to hit those two because I knew they were relatively quick answers, but they were good questions. So
yeah.
I don't have anything else to talk about in Yankees Orioles. Were there any Orioles bats that you were super interested in against the lefty?
No, not really. 14 game slate. I don't really want to be playing too many Orioles.
Agreed. All right, I've got a lot to talk about here. Phillies and Blue Jays. Phillies 4.7 run implied total. Blue Jays 4.2. It's a 55% chance to win for the Phillies. Jake Arrieta going for Philadelphia. Ryan Borucki going for Toronto. No pitching here for me. I don't have any Arrieta. I don't have Borucki, and we're not projecting any ownership to either guy. So are you trying to get over the field on Arrieta? I guess I can't imagine you're on Borucki.
No, not Arrieta. He's too expensive too. He's like, if he was 7,500 here, then I'd start to consider him probably. But he's another one like Sabathia. Like what's his real upside in this spot? It's not like Toronto doesn't have some decent hitters either. So I think I'd rather go to Sabathia if I'm going to one of these two guys up here, but it'll probably be neither one when I start crunching. Arrieta just doesn't miss bats, and there are some decent lefties in there. Smoke Morales, Granderson up top, although he hasn't been all that great. And then Borucki, I just don't see anything that makes me want to play him. He's not someone that's going to get a ton of swinging strikes or chases or anything like that. And then Wilson Ramos, if he's in that lineup, makes a big difference to me. Obviously, you got Reese and Carlos Santana. So it's a pretty good-looking Phillies lineup, 2 through 5 especially. So that's probably where I'm going. And I know you like the Phillies, right?
Yeah, but not anymore. So Phillies, number 2 stack for me on FanDuel, number 7 on DK. We have this will adjust itself, but we have them as the clear top stack on FanDuel, double the exposure, which is scary. So I'll be way under the field even though they're my number 2. And then they're relatively chalky on DK as well, 9% aggregate exposure. I have 8. So what I thought was going to be more of an over-the-field play, turns out Phillies very popular tonight. Nobody really liking Ryan Borucki. So I like the Phillies a lot, but it's not really the spot that I'm going to be getting leverage over the field like I thought I would.
Yeah. So that's on FanDuel. You said they're super popular. I'm not seeing that.
I mean, they're super popular on DK too. It's they're the chalk stack on DraftKings.
Oh, interesting. Did not know that. I mean, I like them a decent amount, but I don't think they're my number 1. So I guess I'm in the same boat as you. Reese is one of the highest owned players now that I'm looking at it. So.
Yeah, so I mean, he transcends the slate and stuff for me. Hitting second, righty, lefty, 4,800. I get why his ownership is super high. 13% Asdrubal Cabrera, 11% Cesar Hernandez. Yeah, Phillies are pretty healthily owned. Nobody's crazy chalk. 9% cap on the DK ownership in our numbers is relatively pedestrian for a 14-game slate. So,
Okay. Wow, Baraki got smashed. Was that on Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. So I was trying to figure out if that was a relief appearance or a start. It looks like it was a start for Baraki. Just 2/3 of an inning, 6 earned in Yankee Stadium. I'm kind of okay writing that one off. So I don't think Baraki is terrible. He's not someone I'm just going to auto stack against.
yeah.
So I guess it's pretty easy for me to be lower on the Phillies. I had no idea they were expected to be so highly owned.
Michael Wilmoth, the aggregate ownership is not on the site. It's just me adding it up in Excel.
You can do that on Excel just with the sum function.
Yeah.
You've got a layout of each team.
Love the first take opposing views.
What?
Eric Wilson saying that he likes that we're like first take and we have opposing views. He's just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember who's the person in the chat that always says that. Oh, Grace. Her name's Grace. Yeah. Where's Grace when you need her?
Right? Honestly. So yeah, look, I like the Phillies. I wrote them up in spotlight hitters and stacks today, but I didn't anticipate them being as popular as they are. So if you're going to the Phillies today, be cognizant of the projected ownership. They're chalkier than I was anticipating. I still like them. I'll still have a lot of them, but it sort of changes the way you want to pay attention to your structure.
Okay.
Alrighty, moving on to my Braves. Braves and Marlins. Braves 4.6 run implied total. Marlins 3.3. It's a 64% chance to win for the Braves. Stephen A. Engelman. Yeah. I laughed in the middle of trying to read this. So Kudos, Matthew. Mike Fultonevich going for Atlanta. Dan Straley going for Miami. Straley getting 12% ownership today, 8% on FanDuel. I'm not going to be anywhere near Straley at that amount unless the Braves line just craters. Now, I know you're going to talk Fulte. Fulte is not a guy that I'm on with all that much gusto. 8% aggregate. Wow, more ownership to Dan Straley than to Fulte tonight.
For you?
No, for the public. I don't have much of either, but I would definitely lean more towards Fulte. These Marlins are just a tough matchup for DFS. They just don't strike out enough.
Yeah, so I mean, I get the appeal with Straley in that he's a under 7K pitcher. Did he throw a bullpen session? No, he didn't. I don't know why this site is showing that he pitched on the 23rd. That would be yesterday. But anyways, so he's somewhat stretched out. Well, he's fully stretched out, and he's under 7K, and it's kind of a tough pitching slate down at the bottom. So I understand, but I'm attacking Straley. I don't think I'm going to have any exposure to him. I love Freddie Freeman and Markakis and Albies, Camargo. Like, obviously, Inciarte. Inciarte has a little bit more power than I expected. He hit a home run last night, and he's actually, he hits the ball decently hard, even though he's not that great of a hitter. But definitely some steal upside there. Acuna at the top. I just love this Braves team. I love when they're going to be low owned, and especially if the pitcher against them is going to get some ownership, then it's even better in GPPs for me. So the Braves are actually one of my top 5 stacks pretty easily, maybe top 3.
I like it. So they are 7th for me, 9th on DK, 5th on FanDuel, but let's see, 3 times the field on FanDuel, so I have 9%, we're projecting 3. I've got 7% aggregate on DK, we're projecting 3, so I'm at least double the field on both sites. We're on the same page. Acuna, Inciarte, Freeman. Hell, I even got double the exposure in Nick Markakis, so I'm going wild.
Yeah, I kind of don't like that they priced Markakis down so much.
I do. He's priced where he should be now.
I know, but then everyone's going to be like, oh, he's a decent play. Whereas before, if he's priced up at 4,700, no one would even look at him. And even in Brave stacks, people would leave him off. But yeah, I would have played him no matter what price lines. He's not, Freeman, 5,200.
Yeah, I like Tyler Flowers, 3,200 as well. If I'm stacking the Braves, so
Yeah, someone asked which bullpens do you attack besides Kansas City, and so what I do is I go on FanGraphs, look at like relievers, and then I go by the last like 30 days, and just search by xFIP, WHIP, hard hit percentage, like see which bullpens as a whole kind of suck or have been sucking, and then look at the team usage, the bullpen usage over the last few days, see if the bullpen is tired, and that's kind of how you find bullpens you want to attack. So on that note, the Marlins over the last 30 days, 5.08 xFIP, that is the second worst. A 159 WHIP is second worst, and both of those are only behind the Orioles. So, and if Alex Cobb doesn't have a Houdini performance once again, your Yankee stacks could be in good shape, even though I'm not really on them.
All right. Is Acuna going to go yard to lead off this game again?
I mean,
it seems like he
it,
only does that.
Yeah, it's like 3 times a week. It's just like scheduled Acuna at 7:10 Eastern. It's just like bang. You see the tweet from MLB home runs. It's like, oh, check my Acuna exposure.
Every time I see it, it's usually I've got 2% and we projected 9. And I'm like, ah, shit. Any Marlins for you today? I can't imagine.
Nope. Fulte is, I think he's the highest upside option in the slate. I mean, you can make a case for Rich Hill, but those are clearly my top two. Like the Marlins offense, they don't have anything. 68 WRC plus, league low, 110 ISO against righties over the last month. And just like none of these hitters really scare you from the right side. Real Muto can hit righties, but he's 4,700. I certainly don't want to use any Marlins. Fulte's not a guy I usually find myself attacking. And a bunch of righties in here, pitcher spot. Yeah, I think he's got 30-plus point upside here.
Whew. That'd be a big day.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I see it for Fulte today.
What am I missing?
This is a really tough team to strike out. Like, so only Derek Dietrich projects with a higher strikeout rate via Steamer, or a higher than average strikeout rate. Everybody is below average, and some guys like incredibly below average. I'm nervous that he's just not going to be able to get those swinging strikes.
Maybe not. I mean, he's good enough where I think he can overcome a tough matchup. He doesn't have to do anything great. Like, he doesn't have to have 10 strikeouts to have a successful performance here for DFS, even though he's priced at 11-1. If he goes 7 innings with 6 strikeouts or something, you're fine with that.
Yeah, I think for this particular spot for Fulte, you need the hit luck to be on your side. Fair. I think he's going to see more balls in play than he normally does.
Okay.
Maybe more variance on Fulte. So I guess I do like him a little bit in a GPP sense. I don't think I would like Fulte in a cash scenario today.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, for cash, it would be Rich Hill easily for me. But I don't really play cash, so I guess I can't. I shouldn't comment on cash too much if I don't play it.
I got you. I don't hate Fulte. I worry about him blowing through a ceiling just because of the Marlins and their inability to strike out.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not very good. That much I'll agree with.
Wait, where were you on Brave stacks? You said you were above.
Triple the field on FanDuel, more than double on DK. Love the Brave stuff.
Love it. Yeah, I love them. Love these ownerships we see too.
Exactly. Nats and Mets. Here we go. Nats 4.8 run implied total. Mets 4. It's a 58% chance to win for the Nats. Gio Gonzalez going for Washington. Jason Vargas going for New York. Gio, quite popular. 6,400 on DraftKings. Give me a break. That is a really, really ridiculous price point for him. He could be priced like godly today, and I would still have him. We're projecting 30% ownership on Gio. I've got 29. He's right up against my ownership cap. We're also projecting 8% ownership to Jason Vargas. I've got 11. I'm not really proud of it. So let's talk Gio first and foremost. You agree with that ownership?
Yeah, I agree with the Gio ownership. I think he's going to be the chalk option down here. I think he should be Mets team that's just struggled all year against lefties, no matter who they throw out there. Like Flores and Frazier are fine if you want to leverage that. But like, I don't know who else I'd want to play on the Mets. And then they're going to have possibly Conforto in there. I mean, that's a little bit of a downgrade if they don't have Conforto and Bruce in there. Just for like strikeout upside, because Gio's not the same pitcher against righties as he is against lefties.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd see more lefties. So a little bit lower on Gio than when I wrote this article last night, but still think he's a perfectly fine value. I'm gonna have a bunch of him. Like, he should be the chalk guy down here, and he is. It looks like.
Yeah, he's a really hard guy to not want to be on today. That $6,400 price point is just ludicrous.
Right.
All
just
right.
too. I mean,
tell me how dumb I am for having any Vargas. Just get it out of the way now.
Yeah. So we talked about him a little bit on the night shift, and the way I put it is like, so Rendon and Zimmerman and Taylor, if he's in here, and Turner, it's obviously good matchups for them, right? Like just righty lefty. These guys all hit lefties pretty well. And then you look at Vargas against lefties. So you search for Vargas's like lefty splits this year, and just for all pitchers on the slate, he has the 5th worst xFIP against lefties, near 6, 571 to be exact. Very little soft contact, 25% line drive rate. A 167 whip, which is also one of the worst on the slates against lefties. Under 15% K rate. And then Harper and Soto can hit lefties too. So I literally like every single player, even your boy Matt Wieters and Wilmer Defoe. So yeah, I think all of them have solid matchups against Vargas. So this is another top 3 easily stack for me.
Yeah, third. Nats are 3rd for me on FanDuel, 5th for me on DK. Triple the field on FanDuel, double the field on DraftKings. A lot of that exposure is to Trey Turner and Michael Taylor, but I'm still, enjoying the Nats here. I just like Turner in that leadoff spot at 4,500. It's a really good way to fill a shortstop spot if you can. Yeah. Look, I'm not going to end up with a lot of Jason Vargas. Chances are it'll go down more than it goes up, but he's one of those $4,800 pitchers where I'm willing to take a chance. Every other time I roster the Nats, they suck, so stands to reason I should probably get some Jason Vargas and it'll go okay.
Yeah. I haven't even looked at their ownership yet. Oh, that is beautiful. Zimmerman, man, 5%. Harper and Soto are awesome plays today. Like, I'm actively targeting them in this lefty spot. Vargas kind of has these reverse splits, and I'm trying to fill up a little bit to check the stolen base matchup.
I mean, the more interesting part of that is that you should expect Harper to face a righty at some point in time. It's not as if Jason Vargas is going to go 8 tonight.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, so hopefully they knock out Vargas 1.5, 2 times through the order, and then they get to face a righty reliever.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. This team's stacked.
Yeah.
At least up top. So this is – I love stacks like this with speed too. Just sets up really, really well. Let's see how many stolen bases. So Vargas has been they've had 8 steals off of him. Has he played the Nationals this year? He has not. He's not pitched against the Nationals. But teams of speed like Atlanta, San Diego have had success stealing on him. So you can definitely do it. So Michael Taylor and Trey Turner, a little bit of a bump for them as well.
All righty. Moving on. Red Sox and Rays. Red Sox 4.7 run implied total. Rays 3.8. 61% chance to win for the Red Sox. Hector Velasquez going for Boston. I assume that it's going to be Beeks coming in. Were you on the same assumption?
Yeah, Beeks.
Okay. So we're going with Beeks in here now. I don't have Velasquez. I don't have Beeks. This is not a spot that I want to have any pitching. Velasquez isn't going to go nearly deep enough to be someone to look at, in my opinion. And then I don't want Beeks against the Red Sox. I don't have much of anything here. Red Sox not projected to get much ownership. They are below average in the aggregate. I'm assuming you're going to say that you're on the Red Sox, though.
Just mostly just JD and Mookie.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll have like one-offs. Maybe get to a mini stack with either Kinsler or Xander, like a 3-man if I run out 4-3-1s.
Okay.
But it's probably going to be 5-2-1s tonight, and then I'll have some JD and Mookie. But Beeks, like all of a sudden he looks like a completely different pitcher. And we see this sometimes where guys struggle right away and you got traded and struggled again. But last two starts against in Boston and the Yankees, or last two outings, I should say, kind of shut down both teams. Allowed 2 earned runs to the Yankees in Yankee Stadium in 5 innings. That's fine. That's
I think
a lot
Beeks
less
is
than
good.
expected. He's supposed to be, so it makes sense. But he looked awful before when he started that one game in Detroit.
Yeah.
And then his first few relief outings with Tampa Bay. So I don't know. I mean, I respect him now after those last couple starts. That's really tough to do. Go into Fenway, go into Yankee Stadium and throw 9 innings and allow just 2 earned runs. So it's just going to be Mookie and JD. And then I don't really want to attack Boston's bullpen either. So I'm not really on the Rays either.
Yeah, basically the same. I have a little bit more of the Red Sox on FanDuel. They're just a little bit easier to get to from a price perspective. Utility also helps. I've got a lot of Mookie on DK, and that's basically it. Not that much JD. And that's mostly because Mookie projects higher for me, and they're at the same price point, so it'll be hard to get JD as a one-off in those cases.
5 for 30 slump? Is that even that big of a slump?
Yeah, that's just like a week and a half of playing.
That doesn't do anything for me. I mean, if it's over 30, okay, now maybe, but
I mean, neither of those two numbers matter to me.
I never pay attention to that. But 5 for 30 definitely doesn't matter to me, at least.
Yeah, I'll have some Soto for sure.
I'll have a ton of Soto. Vargas, the slump buster.
Yeah, honestly. Look, something's going to have to happen. I'm going to have Vargas and the Nats. One of these two things are going to have to be decent.
Yeah.
Move on to the White Sox. White Sox and Tigers. White Sox 4-run implied total. Tigers 4.7. 58% chance to win for the Tigers. Ronaldo Lopez going for Chicago. Michael Fulmer going for Detroit. Fulmer, pretty chalky, 20% on DraftKings. I actually have 29. I'm a big fan of him here, mostly because of the White Sox. Oh boy, does that team strike out a lot in that projected lineup. Good God. I'm going to have to read that off. We're only projecting 8% ownership to Fulmer on FanDuel. I actually have 23. I like him more. He's hitting my ownership cap on both sites. I'm a big Michael Fulmer fan tonight. Is he someone you're looking at all?
I mean, I had interest just because I just look through each game and see who's kind of pitching, and I did have some interest, but he only threw 56 pitches. I'm going to try to pull it up right now. I referenced it on the night shift, but I think it was 56 or 58 pitches in his last rehab start, which is fine. I mean, he could get through this 5 or 6 innings in 75 pitches against this White Sox team. They're just atrocious. Matt Boyd had a solid start against them. That tells you pretty much all you need to know. So I don't hate Fulmer, but if he's going to be owned, then he doesn't have his upside is capped for sure, right? At 70,
if he's really on a 70 pitch count, then I won't have him at all.
I mean, how many pitches do you think he can throw? He threw, let's see, get the exact number. 56. I don't know. I mean, 75, 80, maybe.
Gardenhire said Fulmer will be on a pitch count of 70.
Yeah. So, 70? God. Yeah. No chance. I'm not doing that.
All right. So
especially now.
He's thrown 1,806 pitches so far this year in 112 innings. So that's just over 16 an inning.
That's
A little over 4 innings.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have as much Fulmer, if at all.
I mean, I'm not playing, like, if he was 5K, all right, now you can maybe make a case for him, but 7,700, even in a great matchup, he would have to be ultra efficient for that to pay off.
Yeah, I just nerfed him. I won't have him, like I said. Thanks, guys.
What about any White Sox bats? Or Tigers, for that matter?
Lots of Tigers. Number 8 stack on FanDuel, number 6 on DK. They're just hyper cheap. Makes it really easy to work teams in. And they're not a team that has like just a concentration of outfield talent. So Candelario, Iglesias, Castellanos, Nico Goodrum. I've got some James McCann. I mean, I love stacking against Ronaldo Lopez. He's one of my least favorite pitchers in baseball. So
yeah, I
like the Tigers.
I love stacking against Ronaldo too, but it's going to be just a few guys for me. Castellanos, Goodrum, Candelario, kind of the 3 guys with some power that I usually play. So that's probably the extent of it. Like, I don't really want to play a Ducey or Matuk righty-righty or McCann righty-righty. I know Ronaldo's bad, and he's definitely got some home run issues, but this Tigers team, like wind blowing in too, I don't know. They're not my favorite. So if they're going to be in double digits ownership, then I'm going to be lower on at least 6 of their players.
What was the aggregate? Yeah, there's 7% aggregate on DK, 5 on FanDuel. So I'm a little over the field on both sites. I'm fine being there, I think. I'm going to do a recrunch while we're talking to remove all of my Fulmer exposure, see where we end up.
Yeah, Shannon, which Lopez will show up to pitch today? That's the question with Ronaldo. Super volatile. He can go 7 innings with 5 strikeouts, or he can just get blasted and give up 5 home runs like he's done this year. So you just never really know. It's a bad Tigers team, but yeah. I mean, I'm not going to act like I know which Ronaldo we're going to see. If I did, then I'd be a millionaire. But
I mean, it's usually the bad Ronaldo.
Yeah, I'd say like 65% of the time. But
where's he at in the XFIP leaderboard now?
Oh, he's got to be near dead last.
He is second from the bottom. Only behind teammate Luke Giolito, only ahead of teammate James Shields. All 3 guys with an XFIP higher than 5 this season. So
Shields is so much better than those 2 guys.
You know what's really funny? They're all the same person for the most part. Here's the K per 9 on all 3. Giolito 6.3, Ronaldo Lopez 6.5, Shields 6.9. They all have a home run per 9 in the 1.37 to 1.45 range. They all have a 260-ish BABIP. They're just putting up the exact same season of garbage.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Yeah, Tigers have a pretty bad bullpen, so I actually like some White Sox bats. Palka, Delmonico, Davidson. If he's batting up in the order, he should be where Tim Anderson's at, in my opinion. And then as Moncada started to hit, I was going to try to pay attention to him to see, like, is he starting to hit at all? Because
you don't want Moncada.
He couldn't hit a beach ball. My God, he's still striking out a ton. Yeah, probably going to leave off Moncada. But Palka for sure. Love that guy. 3,800.
I have 5% Palka on FanDuel and 1% on DK. I'm not targeting White Sox here today. Maybe I should, though. I just don't trust them. A's and Jakes. For the new fan vice peeps, the Minnesota Twins are known as the Minnesota Jakes for us. As is Jake lives in Minnesota. So, real creative jokes around here. A's 4.9 run implied total, Jake's 4.4. 55% chance to win for the A's. Sean Manaea going for Oakland. Jake Odorizzi going for the Jakes. Any pitching here? I basically don't have either guy. A little bit of Odorizzi on FanDuel, but this is more of a bats place for me.
I do not. I won't have probably either of these guys. I want to target against Manaea with righties, but this game is really just about the A's bats for me. So I assume you're on the same page.
Yeah, A's bats. 7th stack on FanDuel. Number 3 on DraftKings. Lots of Matt Chapman, lots of Chris Davis, who just won't stop hitting dongs. Lots of Matt Olson. I get a lot of LaCroix. If he's going to be under 20 or under 3,000 as a catcher option on DK, that's always something I want in my stack.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of named all the guys that I wanted. Chapman, Davis, Olson. I throw in Piscotty in there as well. 2 through 6 is how I want to attack Odorizzi, who's just got power issues. And Oakland's not been striking out as much as of late. Like earlier in the season, I was kind of targeting them as with pitchers because I thought they had a bunch of strikeout upside, but not lately. Like under 20% over the last month against righties.
Okay. Get my new crunch in now that I won't have all that Michael Fulmer. It'll move around a little bit.
You have to be pretty high IQ to understand the jokes around here. Is that right? Last night you said Orioles stack, but I think you meant a stack. Yeah, that's my bad. I'm talking so fast while also clicking on my computer. As you can probably hear my mouse every 2 seconds. But yeah, if I said stack the Orioles last night, I did not mean that. On the Night Shift podcast, I'm assuming you're talking about. But yeah, no Orioles.
So yeah, I have a ton of A's. I'm just not a big Odorizzi fan, so.
I mean, I used to be. We had our stint. He's been fine, but not against this team. I really don't like him here.
Same story for me. I wish Martini wasn't projected to lead off. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, that experiment has not been great.
I don't have anything interesting in this game. For a team that I have as my number 2 stack on DraftKings right now, it's incredibly unappealing.
Wait, what is this? Chris Robideau? Can we see past? I don't get it. Which past lineup?
I'm not sure what you mean.
That's fine. We can move on.
Man, the A's have really jumped up my rankings on that recrunch.
Just got a lot of good power right in the middle of that.
I feel like I never have Chris Davis on these days that he dongs, and considering he dongs like every other day, that's a bit of a sign.
Missed opportunity for me last night. I should have picked him.
Oh yeah, who did you pick last night?
Suarez.
Okay.
Suarez.
Who did Alex pick?
So he's like an auto for me. And it was a good leverage play against Hamels, but Hamels just looks sick right now.
Who did Alex take?
It was Matt Chapman. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's Matt Chapman. Someone has to remember that on this stream. But I'm pretty sure it was Matt Chapman.
Yeah, Chris, that was not the way to expound on that question. That didn't help at all.
Yeah, like just you gotta spell it out for us.
Yeah, it was Chapman.
Chapman. If you win in the top 100, see your lineup. Well, I certainly did not get anything in the top 100 last night. All my lineups were to the left on my phone. So that means I was not in the cash for pretty much anything. Either early or late. I got completely demolished. So there's that.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't play last night, but I would happily share any lineups that I put in the top 100. Alrighty. I think we've said enough there. Stack the A's. No interest in the Twins. No real interest in the Twins.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I like Sano as a one-off on FanDuel.
Sano just strikes out so much for me. Like I said, I like players who put the ball in play more than 30% of the time. I'm sorry, 70% of the time. So, yeah, I probably will have almost no Twins.
Okay. Pirates and Brewers. Pirates 4-run implied total. Brewers 4.5. The 55% chance to win for the Brewers. Joe Musgrove going for Pittsburgh. Wade Miley going for Milwaukee. We're projecting 0% ownership to Wade Miley. And I've got 17. So am I crazy for being Miley today?
Well, not because of the Geo exposure. He's a decent pivot. I mean, he's much better against righties, oddly enough. And he's going to see 7 righties, pitcher spot. He's coming off a nice start as well. I always like guys that are just pitching well at the time. Kind of like to ride that hot streak. But super inconsistent with the strikeouts. Like you see just results 5-5, 0-7, 1-2. I mean, he's all over the map. And this isn't that great of a strikeout matchup. But if Gio falters, which he certainly could, then Miley he's kind of the pivot I like in this range. I think some people will play Drew Hutchison, and I mean, that's a better park, obviously, but I don't hate Miley here. I certainly don't love targeting Pirates bats against him. That was the first thing I looked at, and I couldn't really find myself playing anyone. So, yeah, I like Miley a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I like being there. A decent price point. Keeps me below the average. He's someone that I'll probably have, oddly enough, with like Godley tonight.
Yeah.
And Rich Hill. So I think that'll be a popular combo for me. Bats here. Anything of interest? Oddly enough, I like a little bit of the top of the Pirates order. Then some of the lefties on Milwaukee should be appealing, but aren't. 4-run implied total for the Pirates. I don't know what I like about this game. Outside of Miley, Dickerson, Marte. That's the only things that have any sort of oomph for me.
It's probably no Brewers bats for me.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I just really respect Musgrove. So he's not a guy I want to attack. There's wind blowing in here if they're going to open the roof. Under 70 degrees in Milwaukee. Yeah, Musgrove's not really a guy I find myself picking on too often. So this one is pretty much a wash for me outside of some Miley exposure.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, go Miley. That's the best I can do. I hope the bats stay relatively quiet.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't know why I typed in Twins. That's clearly not where we're going. Nice. Ownership is low again. This makes me happy. Indians and Royals. Indians, 5.2 run implied total. Royals, 3.6. It's a 66% chance to win for the Indians. Mike Clevenger going for Cleveland. Brad Keller going for Kansas City. Now we're going to talk about where Josh is that the public isn't. 14% expected ownership for Clevenger. I've got 27. I'm over the field as well on FanDuel. And I'm close to double the field on the Indians bats on both sites. I am Team Indians today. I'm Team Indians pretty regularly, but I see Clevenger as the best of the high-end options at the top of the heap today. I'll have way more than him than I will of Fulte. Clevenger's my dude that I'm riding with. Where do you stand on Mike Clevenger?
I mean, he's fine. I figured he was going to be the highest owned of the top guys or after Rich Hill. So if that's not the case, a little bit more interested in him, but he's much better against righties, and he's not going to get that many of them. Got like O'Hearn down there, Herrera, Phillips. Escobar is not a big strikeout. Not a big strikeout guy either. So it's 82 degrees here as well, wind blowing out. I don't know. It's not the best pitching environment. So I just much prefer Fulte and Rich Hill. So I won't get to much Clevenger, if any of them.
Okay. Yeah, it's just the 3.6 run implied total. I love lots of swing and miss on the ass half of that Royals lineup. They've been not great against righty pitching all year. 377 slugging, 136 ISO against righties for 2018. I'm hoping Clevenger has a really big day. It's my dude.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, I won't be riding with you. Won't be targeting bats against him, but I won't be playing much.
That makes sense. So I assume we're on the same page with the Indians bats, though.
Playing them?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm playing Indians bats for sure.
I've got 9% aggregate on both sites, and we're projecting only 5. So just letting you know there.
Yeah. I mean, I like them. I like Ramirez and Lindor a ton. Brantley leading off. You never really have to, or leading off, batting second. You never really have to convince me to play these top 3. And then Alonso is just too cheap for 3,900 as well.
I actually prefer Encarnacion to Alonso today, but I like them both.
Yeah, that's fine. You usually prefer Encarnacion while I'm usually on Alonso anyways.
Yeah.
So that's pretty normal.
Okay. And then I think Kipnis works as a budget second base option if you need him.
Yeah, 3,700. I mean, he's batting down in the order, but to complete the 5-man, no issue with it.
Yeah. I have no interest in Royals whatsoever. I assume you're at least on the same page. No, not going that direction. Duda is a one-off, if anything, I guess.
Not really on the Royals either.
Okay.
I don't like to attack Clevenger either.
Boom. Love it. Go Indians. I'd make a bunch of like Indians references from Major League, but Jake won't understand them, so.
No, I won't. Not at all.
Cardinals, 5.4 run implied total. Rockies, 5.1. The 53% chance to win for the Cardinals. Here we go. Miles Michaelis going for St. Louis. Antonio Senzatella going for Colorado. It's just rolling off the tongue today. No ownership to Michaelis. Doesn't terribly surprise me. He's a much better pitcher in real life than he is in DFS, but I do get 5% of him. I'm fine with being there. No one's going to be on him because of Colorado. Bats in this game. Well, I guess we'll start with it. You're not looking at pitching here, right?
No, not in Coors. No.
As I figured.
Unless it's Tyler Anderson or John Gray. Yeah, I'm good.
So for the Cardinals, number 4 stack on FanDuel, number 8 stack on DraftKings. I'm right with the field. They're pretty popular. Top 4 looks the best in my opinion. Include DeJong, and you have a nice top 5 on FanDuel. Not that you could use it. Are you going to be stacking up the Cardinals bats at all?
Yeah. I mean, I like anytime Senzatella is on the slate, he just doesn't miss any bats, righty or lefty. So, yeah, the Cardinals, I would assume, are going to have a bunch of ownership. But, yeah, they're obviously a great stack. No one over 4,900 outside of Carpenter. So pretty easy to fit in, especially without a ton of top pitching on the slate.
Yeah, and look, they're pretty popular. 11% ownership to Carpenter, 20 to Molina, 10 to Jose Martinez, 11 to Jerko. But I'm cool with that. I'm going to have those guys. I'll work in DeJong. I'll work in Harrison Bader. I'll work in Colton Wong on FanDuel at 3,300. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no issue.
Rockies bats, I'm quite under the field. 5% aggregate on both sites. I have, at best, half that. There's not a direction I'm trying to go. Like I said, Michaelis is a much better real pitcher than he is fantasy pitcher. I don't really want to go at the Rockies all that much here.
I mean, he relies on the sinker and a curve. So what I was saying on the night shift last night was that those two pitches, obviously, if you've got any sort of a curve or sinker, it's not going to break the same way in Coors, which I think most people know. So I like to look at pitch types for guys that are going into Coors, and he's going to have trouble with those too. I know he's got a slider as well, but I'm definitely on the Rockies. Sounds like more than you are.
Yeah, I don't really have them all that much.
So you just respect Michaelis? I mean, he's not great against lefties, regardless. So you don't even like Blackman or Cargo or Dahl?
Blackman, 15% expected ownership on DK. I got 1.
Okay.
No Dahl whatsoever. And we're not projecting any ownership to Dahl either.
Yeah. I just saw your message in chat.
My message in chat.
Not to me in the Slack.
The Wilson Ramos one?
Yeah. I've never seen Major League Peter Lou. I have not.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to get to the Rockies, so this is probably the Rockies breakout Coors game.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's the Rockies side.
I hope it's the Cardinals side. I won't have the Rockies. If it's the Rockies side, I hope I got all my one-offs correct. Mariners and Diamondbacks. Mariners 3.7 run implied total. D-backs 4.8. 61% chance to win for the Diamondbacks. Erasmo Ramirez going for Seattle. Zach Godley going for Arizona. I like Godley quite a bit. 17% expected ownership on DK. I am over the field on Godley. And I actually have a little bit of Erasmo Ramirez. I don't know how long that'll hold, but he is a value guy that I have at 5,000 right now. Where are you landing on Godley here? It's a tough strikeout matchup. The middle of that Mariners lineup doesn't strike out all that often, but I think Godley's in a good spot here at that price point.
Yeah, like Godley a little bit. He's kind of at the ownership I expected. And like you said, not a great strikeout matchup, but he's had success in matchups that aren't great for strikeouts before. Since that last start happened, I figured that people wouldn't be on him as much, and that's fine. I mean, I still think he's got 20, 25 point upside maybe if things go great for him here. So I'm on Godley for sure. I'm not jumping on it, or I'm not jumping off of him, and I'm not targeting bats against him.
Yeah, no bats for me whatsoever. I don't want any part of Seattle. But Cano, Segura, Spa, and Seager, these are guys, D. Gordon, these are guys that just do not strike out a lot. So I'm a little worried about it. It makes me feel like his upside is limited, but I'll take that chance at 8,500.
Yep, that's exactly where I'm at.
And then I don't have any Arizona. I don't have any Seattle. Like, it's just not. There's no bats in this game for me.
I mean, I'll have Arizona for sure. Peralta and Escobar are my favorites. But then anytime I like Peralta and Escobar against a righty, it just makes me want to stack up Arizona just because Goldschmidt and Pollock hit both sides so well. And I don't think Arizona will be owned. But that's going to be where the majority of my exposure is on Arizona. It's just going to be a couple four-mans with 2 through 5.
You would be right. They are not owned. 2% aggregate. It's essentially only Pollock. Pollock at 9%. Nobody else above 1. Which I get. 4,900 is a pretty decent price for Pollock in this spot. I'm just not going to get to Arizona. It won't take much to get over the field. When I force in one line, that'll be enough to just be with the field.
Yeah, there you go.
4.8 total. I would have thought I had more of them. For some reason, I don't.
Yeah.
Astros and Angels. Astros 4.5 run implied total. Angels 3.7. 58% chance to win for the Stros. Dallas Keuchel going for Houston. Andrew Heaney going for the Angels. Keuchel getting 8% ownership on DK. I only have 1% here. Pitching is not in this game for me. The only thing that I'm really looking at is the top of the Astros lineup. Are you going to be having any major exposure to Keuchel or Heaney?
No, I don't really like either of these pitchers. There's kind of things I can poke holes in. Keuchel's price, his lack of strikeout upside. He's on the road here. And then Heaney just struggles with righty power as well. So a lineup that starts with Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa is probably not the easiest for him. So I don't know. Is Heaney someone you like attacking? He's not really someone I like to full on stack against or anything.
I mean, in general, no. But if I'm going to do it, it's going to be with 4 righties, Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa,
Yeah, I guess that would be the way to go. It's probably just going to be Correa for me, just because he's so cheap.
It's got to be this very specific set of circumstances. Almost every other team, I would have said, no, I have no interest in stacking against Heaney. But when it's these guys in this matchup, I'm way more likely to do it.
Right. I think that's fair. And they're cheap enough where they're not going to break your bank by paying up for them.
Right. especially with Bregman's dual eligibility, which will help. Not that, like, if you need to leave Correa off for some reason to go to Bregman at shortstop, to go to a cheaper, I don't know what else, if you wanted to go to Marwin Gonzalez or something. But
Yeah.
lots of Springer for me, lots of Altuve, lots of Correa. I'm going to go ahead and pass on Tyler White at 4,200. But those first four, what else can we say?
Yeah, I mean, that's the World Series winning lineup right there. I mean, it just looks sick when they've got everyone together, and when they don't, and you're playing Marwin in the 2 spot, it looks a little bit worse. So, kind of done attacking the Astros until further notice. And then Trout is supposed to return for this game. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I obviously have interest in him for 5,600 against the lefty.
I didn't get any.
Ooh. I mean, he just breaks my model. Like him and Mookie and Jose Ramirez. They're like always up top, no matter who they face, unless it's Max Scherzer or Chris Sale.
I think Keuchel's too good of a real life pitcher to target against him. Trout grading out really poorly for me today, so I don't expect to get to him all that much.
Okay.
But who knows? He might want to avenge his brother-in-law's death today with 4 dongs. If anybody could do it, it'd be Trout.
Wait, what?
His brother-in-law died?
How? What?
I don't remember what
sucks.
happened. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, probably.
Was he on leave?
I would imagine, yeah.
Huh.
He was pitcher Aaron Cox. He was in high A ball, 24 years old. No cause of death that I know of, but it was his wife's brother. And apparently they were incredibly close.
Wow, that's pretty messed up.
So they went to high school together.
Wow.
Well, not together, but they went to the same high school.
Got it.
In the Dirty Jers. Sorry, people from the Dirty Jers. I'm allowed to say that. I used to neighbor the Dirty Jers. Padres and Dodgers. Padres 3-run implied total. Dodgers 4.6. It's a 69% chance to win for the Dodgers.
Nice.
Clayton and Rich are going for the Padres. Rich Hill on the hill for LA. Rich Hill, 42% expected ownership on DraftKings, 37 on FanDuel. He was by far my favorite pitcher, but he's slamming into my ownership caps. I'll be under the field on Rich Hill, although I very much like him tonight. And I'm pretty confident you do too.
Yeah, I mean, the safest option on the board, I think most people would agree with that. Just, he has to be considered a top 2 pitcher on this slate. I mean, I like Fulte a ton. And there's an ownership tax you got to pay with Rich Hill, but minus 234 favorite, up to 237 a little bit now. Like he threw 115 pitches in his last start. We rarely ever see that. So there's 2 ways to look at that. You could say, all right, well, he threw 111. There's 2 ways to look at that. You could say, wow, they're really letting him go. Maybe Roberts will let him go another 110 if he's cruising. Or you could say, wow, they let him go 111 pitches. They're probably going to pull him at 85 or 90 tonight. So, like, at first I was just thinking positively, like, man, this is great for Hill. I want to just lock him in if he's got that long of a leash. But then I was like, well, maybe I need to rethink that a little bit because he's not always the most efficient guy. And so those extra 15 to 20 pitches are huge when you're paying almost 10K for a guy.
For sure. I'm complete agreement with you.
So I don't know, which side would you be on there? It's tough to try to get into a manager's head.
I don't trust it at all. It wouldn't shock me whatsoever if he showed up and pulled him after 80 pitches, even if it was going well.
That's where I'm at too. Especially if the Dodgers have a lead, like a 5-run lead. Let's say they have. He's probably coming out after 5 or 6.
Yeah, like if he's been hyper efficient, maybe it'll continue. But I'm just nervous about anybody going deep in that scenario.
Yeah.
which I'm kind of happy about because I'll be pretty sizably under the field on Rich Hill.
Okay. Well,
42. He's over-owned at 42% on a 14-game slate.
people are talking about blisters. I mean, yeah, he's definitely done that before. Can't really count on that, but
He does get a blister from time to time.
I thought they fixed that issue with him.
I don't know. I had one once while playing and pitching. It sucked.
Oh, I can't imagine. I've seen like pictures of these guys after they're done pitching with blisters like that, and it's disgusting.
Last pitch I threw was the one that it popped on, but I got a ground ball out and I came out.
You did your job.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I can't throw anymore because I just got an open hole on my finger and it stings like a bitch. All that sand and dirt is getting into it now.
Oh, ouch.
And it's not like you could tape up the tips of your fingers.
Right.
I think they'll have a problem with that.
Be throwing meatballs.
Josh did not throw a perfect game. Not anywhere remotely close to it. I might have been able to throw a no-hitter, but I certainly wasn't going to be able to throw a perfect game because I was going to walk somebody faux show. All right. Dodgers bats. I don't have any. And they're not like they're even a little bit owned. 17% Dozier, I got 0. 13% Machado expected exposure, I've got 0. This is DK. I've got a little bit of them on FanDuel, but I don't know what's going on here, but no Dodgers for me.
Yeah, so the Dodgers, like we always talk about this, so new audience, like Dodgers numbers against lefties for the season are not very impressive. Over the last month, they're even worse. An 0.98 ISO against lefties, 75 WRC plus, above average K rate. Like they're just not really doing anything against lefties, but they should be. They had that huge performance against Wade LeBlanc and the Mariners last Friday. And now this Friday, they get another lefty, this time at home. Did you say the ownership was pretty low overall?
6% aggregate, but it's all in Dozier and Machado.
Yeah, so I'm like Dozier isn't one of my favorite plays on the Dodgers. I would have Machado, Turner, Kemp, and maybe even Puig ahead of him. So I get it. He's leading off. He's 4,300. He's fine, but just as far as ownership goes, like he's not my favorite GPP play on the Dodgers. I love this stack against Clayton Richard. So I'm of the mindset that the Dodgers should turn this around against lefties, and just by judging by their individual numbers. Like, are you a believer that like one guy being like struggling is going to make the rest of the team struggle type of thing? Because that would be the only reason to not want to play the Dodgers tonight, because it's not like they're owned. It's a really good matchup against Richard, who gives up a ton of hard hits to righties. And they've got a bunch of righties that crush lefties for their career.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in that sort of stuff. Not with the information that we have. Like, if somebody's an asshole about it in the dugout and they're bringing everybody down from like an emotional level, I think that could probably trickle out, but it's not going to be any sort of information we know.
Okay.
So, no, that wouldn't be for me. I don't know what to do here. I would have assumed that I love the Dodgers, yet here we are.
I mean, I love the Dodgers, so.
Yeah, they grade out. Not great.
They're top 5 for me. Top 5.
We are very different on the Dodgers than today.
Well, so like, who would you have in your top 5? Maybe we could do this.
We're talking just DK for you, right?
Just DK,
Okay.
Yeah.
So my top 5 on DK: Giants, A's, Indians, Tigers, Nats.
Okay. Yeah, so mine would be, in some order, Dodgers, A's, Nats, Braves, and I'm trying to think who the 5th team would be. Who did I miss there? Not the Phillies. I don't know. I guess I really just only have a top 4, or probably one of the Coors teams, probably Colorado, actually, after that.
So when I say that the Dodgers are 22nd for me, that's a bit crazy to you?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just like, It should be the LA Jakes, not the Minnesota Jakes. That's how much I play this team.
I'm just surprised I don't have him. Like, I've got some Dozier, some Kemp on FanDuel. I don't know. Maybe it's. I guess it's just the pricing isn't great on either site for me, really. I'm a little surprised I don't have the Dodgers.
I think you will by the time we get to the live before lock.
The line has gone up just since I've entered them this morning, so they're up like a couple tenths of a run. We'll see how much they pop up a little bit. I would assume that the Dodgers were a team that I would have a lot. I love the top of the lineup: second base, third base, shortstop, first outfield, dual eligibility on Bellinger. I would have assumed they fit better, but they're just not popping off. I think it's a little bit too much respect for Clayton Richard. He's got a relatively low projected FIP via Steamer, and that's sort of like my base for player adjustments. So it's not hating Richard as much as like the 4.9 run implied total seems to be liking the Dodgers.
Right. Sure. Yeah, so Richard also has he's got pretty big home road splits, looking at like xFIP, ground ball percentage, line drive rate. So he's just much better at home pitching in that big Petco park. So I like attacking him on the road, not as much when he's pitching at home. And yeah, I love the Dodgers. I'll say it again. So top 5 stack for me easily.
I don't hate it. I can't disagree with it.
I mean, you could.
Sure.
You do disagree with it. You don't have the Dodgers.
I don't disagree with it personally. My model disagrees with it.
Well,
I'm going to blindly follow my model. So
that's what you do. You just hit optimize and you make money, right? That's
kind of.
That's what the guy on Twitter was telling you yesterday.
I mean, like, in a way, he's right. It's just I've done all the work first. Yeah. I did it so that all I have to do now is just hit optimize.
Right, but it's not like you set everyone at 100%. He made it sound like you just, like you, if you could do that, you'd just solve DFS. Like you.
If anybody out there thinks they're smarter than a computer, they're probably really dumb because these things are smarter than us.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, so you got to change the inputs, right?
If you don't like the output of what it is, you can make some adjustments there. But to think that we could do a better job, like just building from scratch, you're never gonna do it.
Yeah, Eric Wilson is right about Muncy. Muncy is the greatest player of all time. You enjoy another Charlie Culbertson home run yesterday? I mean, I didn't enjoy it.
I would have if I played. Stupid not playing yesterday.
Did you check rewind to see what your crunch would have had?
From the morning?
Either one.
Well, I'm not going to have any updated lineups or anything in it. Oh, do you mean like whatever we just had up there?
No, like did you upload your projections from yesterday?
Just from whenever we did the show.
Yeah. Did you see what your actual score would have been if you didn't touch it? I do that.
I don't think it'll be able to. I don't think it'll be there.
Oh, your old crunch won't be there?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I'm going to hop over to it now. I didn't save it, so yeah, there's nothing there. I knew I wasn't playing, so like I didn't care.
I mean, that would suck if you just had like a sick lineup that would have taken down a bunch of stuff.
I think that I would have had a sick lineup that took down a bunch of stuff yesterday. I mean, think about how many Red Sox Tigers combo stacks that I had when we were walking through it yesterday, and they were the two nuts from the early slate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mikkel McDonald, computers are only as smart as the person providing the inputs, Josh. Just a heads up. That's the way computers work. Yeah, tell that to the computers when they fucking kill us all.
Oh, all right. We're really welcoming some of the FanVice crowd in very nicely.
Yeah.
Computers blowing.
I watch Westworld too much, man. Those computers are going to kill all of us. I'm very nervous about my future. That's why I try to be super nice to like Siri and like Alexa and stuff when I talk to them. When they start the uprising, I want to make sure that they remember that I was like incredibly polite when I asked them questions.
You know, you could just be incredibly polite to everyone, not just machines.
I generally am. I try to be. I try to be.
I know.
I'm scared of my computer, man.
Yeah.
Let's finish this off. Rangers and Giants.
What does that mean? Tell me what Emacs message means. Translate that into millennial.
Is today the day Skynet self-actualizes? Don't worry, Jake, you haven't seen this movie either. What's the easiest? So Skynet's like Siri for 30 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Skynet's like what anybody my age would call Siri before Siri happened. If you Google Skynet, you'll figure out where it's all from and everything. But Skynet was like the original thought of Siri, by all accounts.
I've never seen Terminator. T. McBee.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm young. You guys make me feel younger. I need to do this until like when I'm like 40, and then I'll feel really young. Well, if all you guys are in here. EMAC confirmed 60 years old.
We need to get Jake in like a lesson in the 90s.
I mean, I was born in the 90s.
Yeah,
kinda.
Wait, I was born in the 80s. That doesn't mean I know what was going on in 1982. Hey, I was born in the 80s, and I know what Major League is.
Yeah, T. McBee. I'm just not a big movie watcher either, so that's probably it.
Also, EMAC, good to see you.
Yeah. All right. Should we get this last game going?
Yeah, Rangers and Giants. Rangers 3.6 run implied total. Giants 4.4. It's a 59% chance to win for the Giants. Drew Hutchison going for Texas. Derek Rodriguez going for the Giants. Derek Rodriguez 10,100 on DK. Only 2% projected ownership, as it should be. I'm all over bats in this game. So let's start first. Do you have any Hutchison or Rodriguez?
I mean, I will probably have some Hutchison. Worried about his pitch count a little bit. It's a fine park, but a 4.5 run total. So Vegas doesn't think this guy is very good, and also has something to do with the Rangers bullpen. I just hate targeting bats on this slate, on a huge slate in AT&T, just because it's such a pitcher-friendly park. Certainly not messing around with the Derek Rodriguez 10-1 like that. That's just an overprice. I think his results as of late have been a bit fraudulent. Like he's not really getting swinging strikes or a bunch of chases or even really getting ahead of guys at a great rate. So I think he's going to come crashing down pretty soon. It could be the start, but I probably won't have much of anything from this game. Do you have something you want to talk about?
Yeah, you might as well just go get a drink or something. Giants. Number one stack on FanDuel. Number one stack on DraftKings. 4% aggregate ownership for the Giants projected on FanDuel. 5 on DK. I'm at 11 and 12% respectively. The Giants are my nuts for today. So cheap. Drew Hutchison, so bad. I'm willing to go into AT&T and grab all the shares of the Giants. Give me tons of McCutchen. Give me tons of Joe Panic, said nobody ever. Give me Posey. Give me Belt. Give me Longoria. Give me it all. I'm on Team Giants.
Yeah. On those 14-game slates, you got to stack up AT&T, right?
Yeah. Call me Shanzon. Getting weird tonight.
Now, doesn't Shanzon, though, doesn't he 5-man stack like he doesn't overlap any of his stacks? So he'll have like 10 lineups and it'll be 10 different 5-mans.
And his is going to be much more on the lines of like fading high exposed pitchers. But what I mean is I've got a real weird team to be all in on. No, not that I'm all in, but look, they're really cheap and they're really easy to build stacks around. Positions from top to bottom: outfield, second, catcher, first, third, short. You're checking off all of the non-outfield boxes. Yeah. So I love that. Hutchison, 551 projected FIP via Steamer. So this is more of a play against Hutchison than anything else. I'm going to have a lot of Giants. And I've got a ton of Rangers on DK. 2% expected ownership on DraftKings. I'm 4 times the field. Lots of Chu, lots of Odor, lots of Mazzara. I'll get Andrews because he's a cheap shortstop. I want this game to go buck wild from an offense perspective.
All right. Well, while you're busy stacking up the Giants, I'll be winning all the money with my Dodgers late night hammers. So, yeah, should be great.
So, are you just worried about the park for the Giants? We could ignore the my Rangers piece, I think.
Yeah.
What would be your aversion to the Giants outside of the ballpark?
I mean, I don't think Hutchinson is that bad. I mean, he's nothing special. But
He's that bad.
The Giants aren't good either. So, yeah, bad player in a good spot. I mean, he's still not a good player, right? I mean, I understand Belt just because he crushes everywhere. Like, Belt's just really good. His price is fine on DK, but I don't really think you need to go this cheap as far as stacks go. So
when I looked at it earlier on the team stacks tab on Fantasy Cruncher, the Giants are just part of a combo of like every team that I have.
Are you saying the positions fit well?
Yeah. So like they end up being just like parts of everything for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully Buster Posey gets like a cortisone shot in that hip or something. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, you really want to play a guy with a broken hip or whatever he's got going on there?
I guess, apparently.
Hips are kind of important for hitting. Kind of need some torque.
James in the chat, I notice your model stacks one team on FanDuel and the opposite team on DK at times. Is that solely due to price position constraints, or do I do it to leverage? No, it's totally random. It's just because of the way things break on each site.
Yeah, so
yeah, I'm very much Team Giants today. They are I believe the team that I'm most over the field on. Yes. Especially for this game in particular on DK, I'm more over the field on the Giants and the Rangers than anything else. So, game stack, Giants and Rangers, late night hammer. You heard it here first.
Good God.
All right, let's look at some stacks.
Yeah. You going to share?
Yes, I will.
So someone's got to make me a list of all these movies I was supposedly watching soon.
Look, like all jokes aside, ignoring Terminator or whatever, you really need to sit down and watch Major League. You're going to enjoy it. It's just funny. And it's about baseball.
I mean, I can give that a gander, I suppose.
Like, just have a couple beers, sit back and relax. Just bang it out. It'll be easy.
Charlie Sheen before he went off the deep end.
Tom Berenger, it's great. Wesley Snipes.
Nice.
Good stuff, man. Okay, so I'm gonna pop up my Giant stacks first because I feel like that's the thing that I need to justify the most. But just to talk about it, like I've got Giants in Washington, Giants in Cleveland, Giants in Detroit, Giants in Oakland. These are all sorts of different combinations that I have that's what's making the Giants so popular for me. So in my 5-man Giant stacks, Rich Hill, Gio, 5-man Giants, Turner, Harper, Rhys Hoskins. Like,
pretty good.
If things go well for the Giants, I mean, that's as good as, like, that's a very unique lineup. I can take chalk elsewhere if I go to the Giants stack. So they allow me to go a bit chalkier in pitching, which I'm kind of happy about. There's Freeman, Stanton, Hicks. This is why they're so, like, their price point is just allowing me to have nut fillers.
Yeah.
Jose Ramirez, Stanton, Michael Brantley.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of your lineup looks good. It's just the the Giants fillers. I've got Dodgers on the mind. The Giants fillers are, they don't look good to me. I mean, I don't really want to play Panic or Crawford that much, or Posey with the hurt hip.
I like Panic a lot tonight. Lefty, righty, 3,700, second baseman.
Yeah, but it's Panic in AT&T.
I'll take it. Somebody's got to be on for when McCutchen and Posey dong.
Yeah. Well, we're going on opposite sides, so this is good for our brand, right? So we can come on tomorrow. I guess not tomorrow, Monday. Say how right we were, right? No matter what.
If the Giants pop off tonight, man, I'm just gonna be
You should just
I'm gonna be
torch-
posting that GIF of like McGregor and Vince McMahon doing the millionaire strut all over the place.
Yeah, you feel free to torch me if the Giants go nuts. Yeah, chat. Feel free to torch me.
Fingers crossed. Fingers
If
crossed.
they outscore the Dodgers, just know that I lost money. Unless it's 13-12.
Okay, so let's take another look at maybe a more chalky option from a stack perspective. Do you want to look at the Phillies?
Sure.
Or did you have someone that you would like to look at specifically?
I mean, I'd like to look at like the Nationals, but you can go Phillies first.
Okay. So Phillies 5-man stacks is what I've got here. A lot of Rich Hill Gio. Phillies, Odor, Marte, Mazzara. Your boy Buster Posey, Gleyber Torres, Stanton. I like these Phillies stacks.
Yeah, looks good. Looks pretty good.
Clevenger, Gio. Marte, Dickerson, Posey. Lots of Posey. I might have to manually nerf Posey tonight. That hip does have me a little nervous.
Yeah, I just can't get past a guy with a hip injury on a 14-game slate.
That's a very reasonable stance to take, in my opinion. All right, let's look at your Nats. So yeah, like I don't... Weird filler. Weird filler on that first one. Although it's my highest projected Nats stack, but I wouldn't have thought that I would have got there with Trey Mancini and VR.
Yeah, I don't want to attack CC or the Yankees bullpen with those hitters, especially. But
So what pitching would you be looking at with the Nats? I'm getting it's mostly Rich Hill, which doesn't shock me.
so here's
Rich Hill
one.
Gio combos.
Yeah, like I see Godley, Gio, but that's with your Giants. So I'd probably just like swap those guys out. But I like the idea.
All right, let's swap out Posey. Tyler Flowers.
Sure.
Second base. Can we get to?
Ready? Yeah, you'd have to get Stanton out.
Yeah. Drop Stanton all the way down. We'll see what this lineup looks like. We'll get rid of Stanton, drop down to someone shittier.
You can go to like, yeah.
I'm trying to just go low on price. Jock is the cheapest guy, so second base could be basically anybody now.
Oh, that's second base. Never mind. You could go to like Albies and get a 2-man.
How expensive is Albies? Oh, there he is, 44. There's that 2-man, and then we have a ton of money for outfielder. Adam Eaton, Steve Pearce, or Rhys Hoskins. Boom. You like that one more?
Yeah, I like that better.
Okay.
So, I mean, just lineup construction wise, I like how the Nats. I like how they look.
Yeah, look, same page here. Besides this lineup having, well, it's got Ronaldo Lopez in it, so never mind. I was going to say, I really like this one with Lindor and Alonso, but then I saw Ronaldo Lopez and immediately wanted to ignore it.
Yeah.
Switch him out for the noted. We'll give you your boy Cobb in this one, and I think you'll like that lineup.
All right. He's not my boy. Will I play some of them tonight? Probably.
There you go. Rich Hill and Alex Cobb, one off Grandal, Alonso Lindor with your 5-man Nat stack.
Man, looks pretty good to me.
All right, everybody. We are done. Please like and subscribe, or preferably like, but definitely subscribe. Check us out on iTunes. We've got the Night Shift podcast going out there every single night, so you can get that in your podcast apps. It's also on YouTube. We'll have quick hits out early this afternoon. Jake will have the game plan article out in your email inbox. Check that out. If you don't find it, check your spam. Live stream tonight, 6 p.m. Myself and Jake, we're going to run it back again. Take a look at our final crunches as we head into lineup lock. Jake, you have anything else you want to add here?
This is the last time you'll see Josh and I on the live stream for a while because Chris will be back.
Yeah.
So enjoy or good luck enduring us one more time, depending on how you look at it. Check out all of our content. Alex will have let's say Friday, he'll have the top stack, right? Top stack art.
Only list I have is the one that you gave me, so whatever you say is whatever I have.
Yeah, I think it's the top stack. But yeah, that'll come out around 4 Eastern. So
There you go.
good luck, guys. Yeah, looking forward to seeing where I'm at in 8 hours. Yeah.
Same. Go Giants tonight, everybody. Good luck. Talk to you later.